Marco and Andressa, would you like to join us? Are you there?
It's not far away.
Ah, I forgot. They are without the microphone because the administrator of the room, he turned off the microphones. So right now, just me and you have the microphone. And at the end, when we started the questions and the chat, so the microphones will be activated. Leandro, if possible, se possível, ativar o microfone do professor Marco Antônio e da professora Andressa, é possível seletivamente?
Sim, professora, já estão com acesso ao microfone, só que como eles entraram sem essa habilitação, eles precisam habilitar clicando no ícone do microfone que está aparecendo na parte de baixo da tela agora.
Obrigada.
Tá? E aí eles reativam toda essa questão do áudio.
Ok, obrigada. Acho que eles estão ativando. They will activate their microphone so they can talk a little bit with us before we begin. Let's more 3 or 4 minutes and we start, okay? I don't know if you'd like to say something, okay?
No, it's a pleasure to share this moment with you. We'll wait and we'll begin when everybody is ready.
Thank you.
Hi, Anna.
Hi, Marco.
Hi, how are you, Claudine? How are you, Anna?
Fine.
Good afternoon, everyone. And it's a pleasure to have you here, Claudine. And I'm waiting for this presentation since the beginning of the year, so that will be great.
Yes, it was a good time. And that happened since.
Marco, I think I will ask you to present Claudine because I know you will do it in a very better way than I would. And let's just wait for 3, 4 minutes and we begin, okay?
Okay, all right.
Thank you. And how are things going on Birmingham and in the United Kingdom right now about the pandemic?
I don't know because I am in France and we have at the moment difficult relation with United Kingdom with a quarantine between the two countries. So I think the pandemic is growing again and increasing, but it is holiday time now in Europe, in almost all the countries. So the medias are keeping it quiet so that the people will come back and work.
Oh my God.
And how are things in Brazil?
Things are not very well here because we have the pandemic very spread all over the country. And different moments depending on the region, and like everybody's tired of being like this social distance, and the president doesn't give a lot of strength, and he thinks it's not important that the economy must work and function and so on, and this is bad because this makes many people just don't follow the sanitary authority instructions what we should do. So we have many deaths, many people contaminated, and it's terrible.
Yes,
but the universities are following instructions, but many other sectors are not.
It's all over the world. It's security and economy, and it's a compromise. And I don't think anyone found a good answer.
Yeah, but the places where they followed more strictly the social distance, I think they recovered faster, and then what we are doing doesn't help. Even not the health, not the economy. I think, you know, everybody goes. I don't know. Well, I think we can start. Well, Claudine, let me tell you, this special interest group is a partnership between our university, São Paulo University, also Federal University of Campina Grande with Marco and Andressa, and also our Brazilian Association of Dental Education. It's called ABENO. So, and the HUT, the network of university telemedicine, where we are, let's say, inserted. And this network, this telemedicine university network, it's linked to the Ministry of Science and Technology of the country also. So I would thank Professor Dr. Messina and the team that is here, and also our team at the Telehealth Center at USP, which supports our section, and also Leandro, Larissa, and everybody, Daisy, which is from our group. And Marco, I will ask you to present. It's an honor that we have Professor Claudine here. Thank you very much for being with us today. And I will give you just one more thing. Would you mind if we record the section? And we used to make it open access after the section, because some people cannot have the time to see.
It is a challenge. I hope you will like it. It's of course not a problem. You can record it.
Okay, thank you very much. Marco.
Hi. So let me say, if dentistry have a soul, it would be knowledge, but its heart is skills. But do we know how to evaluate it? How can we be sure that the student is ready? Ladies and gentlemen, today the SIG Teleodontologia brings to you someone who is working to bring dental education to a next level. With you, Claudine Wulfman. Over to you, Claudine.
Thank you so much. Leandro, can you help me so that I can share my screen?
Yes, teacher, you can share your screen now.
Okay. Perfect. I think all of you can see my screen with all my secrets. Okay. It is a pleasure and also an honor to be invited in this group. Thank you very much, Marco, for inviting me. And thank you, Ana Estela, for organizing everything. I know some of you can speak French, and really I am very sorry because I cannot speak Portuguese at all, so it will be in English. Today our subject will be OSCE. I don't know how much all of you know about OSCE, so the first part of my speech will be a presentation of this evaluation method. And in the second part, I will present to you a serious game that we developed to help the student prepare for the exam. The first thing that I must tell you, if you want to go to OSCE evaluation, is that you cannot go there alone. This is a very important and long work, and you need a team of friends and colleagues that you can count on and that you want to have time together, because you will see each other a lot. This is the OSCE group for this year, and we met almost once in a month. You can see that we came from all the different clinical disciplines, and also that I am feeling quite alone for the prosthodontics, but don't worry, I have friends and colleagues that can help me. What I want to say is that all the things that I will show you now are not my personal doings, but really the work of all the team. A few words about our context. I'm working at the University of Paris, but it is now a transitional time, and we are moving from Paris Descartes University to the University of Paris, and you will imagine how important it is for us. Maybe some of you came to Paris and visit the beautiful city. I imagine that you saw the Eiffel Tower, but maybe you did not come to our university. It is on the Google map with a red mark, and the faculty is just outside Paris in a suburb called Montrouge. And you can see that we have 4 dental units in 4 different hospitals outside Paris. Mine is in Créteil, in the east. We moved 2 years ago in new buildings, and we are very proud to show how beautiful they are. But things are changing now, and we are currently merging with will be united in the new Université de Paris. You can see that they are more lucky than we are. They have an academic site in the middle of Paris, a beautiful place, and they also have 2 dental units. So in next September in 21, we will have a challenge of organizing exams for 230 students for each year, with 2 academic sites and 6 different dental units. And you can imagine the challenge to have a fair examination and to be to have equity between the different students. I don't know how it looks from Brazil, but it will be the largest faculty in Europe. So, when do we use OSCE, and why did we choose this evaluation method? In France, dental studies last for 6 years, but we have the final examination at the end of the 5th year, because after that, the students are allowed to work in dental offices. Traditionally, it is an exam with 2 parts. The first part is a written analysis of a clinical case, and I won't speak about it. And there always was an oral part. It was a question that you picked and you had to answer in front of a multidisciplinary board. When I was a student, I thought this was really, really unfair, because some questions were easier and all the boards were not nice and smiling, and some were very severe. So we decided to move to OSCE in 2013. Well, she speaks about OSCE, but maybe you don't know what it is, or maybe you know, but we'll say it again. OSCE stands for Objective Structured Clinical Exam. It is not at all a new thing, because it was proposed in 1979 by a Scottish teacher in medicine. His idea was that it was impossible to deliver a diploma only if you test the student knowledge. you also have to validate his clinical skills. So OSCE is an exam where the student goes through different stations and meets questions over all the clinical skills. And it is a fair exam because all the students have the same questions, and it is also standardized because the teachers use scoring grid. Here is an example. So even if you have a severe teacher, it will follow the items and you will have the same mark as if you had the nice teacher. I think the best way to explain to you OSCE is to show you a film that was made by my friend Marjolaine Gosset, and that is the film that we show to the students to explain to them what is awaiting them. So I the Moodle, the social media of the university, and I will lower the sound because it's all in French, and I will comment in English. ECOS, it is OSCE but in French. I present to you Marjolaine Gosset, and she is explaining to the students why we choose to use OSCE for their final examination. Here is a map of the student journey during OSCE. You have 8 to 10 stations. Some of them are organized at the faculty and some of them are organized in the hospital. Usually a station lasts for 5 minutes at the faculty and 8 minutes in the hospital. The teachers are using scoring grid, and you will see that they all keep a very neutral expression. So you will leave the exam a booklet where they can discover the station that they will have to go through. And then you begin with physician. So the students have to write a letter. As you can see, we have 4 or 5 students passing the exam at the same time in the same station. And at the end, when she enters, the students look at the questions, and then she has to prepare for an extraction. In the same time, she is explaining what and she is scoring everything. New station. Students will have to perform an anesthesia and then a tooth extraction. Of course, she will work over a simulator, but she is speaking to it just as it to see if she does exactly the same as she explains. You can see that the needle is trembling, the end is trembling, it's very stressful. These are other examples. This one is from me. It is about impressions. And now we will see the last station. I think it's very interesting because such as communication. In this case, the student is in front of a patient who is very angry. He and she has a problem with a new crown, and she doesn't want to wear anything, and the student has to try and it's very interesting. Of course, all the students does not work with the same actors, so they have to be standardized, just as and this is the end of the exam. It will be relaxation time. We offer we don't want them to see the next students, so they cannot communicate and give answers to their fellow students. Well, I hope you like it. I find this a very good video, and I told you already about the OSCE group. We are 11 and we write and test new stations, and we also organize the exam. It's a lot of work because we have 5 sessions, first and second sessions for the 4th year and the 5th year students, and also a mock exam, so that the students are getting familiar with these assessment methods. On the OSCE day, everyone is working. We all meet all the teachers of the faculty. Some of us are welcoming and guiding students. Others are scoring in the stations. This is really an important event in the year. The film showed you how OSCE are running at the moment, but of course it was an evolution since 2013. We evolved in the scoring procedure. Formerly, we only had 8 stations at the faculty, and then we decided to have 5 stations at the hospital and 5 at the faculty. In 2016, we had a wonderful experience with joint OSCE with Paris-Garancière and with the University of Liège in Belgium. We coordinated OSCE on the same day with the same questions. It is a year also where we decided to work with an actors school to simulate patients. The following year, we introduced OSCE also at the end of the 4th year, that is at the end of the first clinical year of the students. Of course, the sessions are not the same. It's more about knowledge and procedures in the 4th year, while in the 5th year, it is about communication, decision making. That means difficult competencies. And 2 years ago, we developed OSCE game. I will tell you in a few minutes about it, but let us finish with the OSCE parts of our speech. This is an example of a station. It was in a complete denture. The students had to comment on the the room and they had to simulate a call to the technician to say if this tray is useful or not useful, and if the technician has to work on it again. As a reference, I also add the picture below, which is what the individualized tray must look like, and you can see the difference between the two of them. You can also see the two evaluation grid and how it evolved in 5 years. At first, you can see that the teacher who was each item, whereas now we mask the points and the teacher only has to tick if the students say the good items or not. We also changed the weights of each item to insist on key features as decision making. The feedback in this, it's about 7 years of experience, is from the teacher point of view, a great pressure to work together, to work with other disciplines. It is also a very efficient feedback on your teaching. Sometimes you think that you know that you have to work all over again. But also, OSCE are a lot of work, and everywhere in the literature you will see that it is costly and really an administrative burden. From the student point of view, they recognize that OSCE is a fair exam, but so stressful. Really, it is very, very difficult because you don't have much time, because you don't know how to prepare to this assessment they are not used to. Our students, I don't know how are yours, but our students are very good for written examination, but they don't like oral examinations. We tried our best to help them. They have a lecture, they have Marjoleine's video, and they have the mock exam, but it seems that it was not enough. That's why we developed a serious game that we called OSCE game. It is online on the university sites, and it is free. You can go there when you want. If you want, no one will look if you use it or not. There is no grade. It is over the clock available. So if you want to work at 2 in the morning, it is not a problem. The objectives of OSCE game was first to increase preparedness feeling, and also to help the student prepare and acquire skills in time and stress management. The two items are stressing me. Here you have 2 screenshots of the OSCE game. I will show you a video just to say that we evaluated the activity to improve over the years. It does exist 2 versions of OSCE game. In the first version, there was 3 gameplay options. The first option was to pass the real exam with the real time duration, and then you add your results. In the second option, it was the same with more detailed results, and the third option was to train on your more difficult stage. In the video, you will play the game, but you will see some stations from the first version and stations from the new version. We will comment about it. So here you can see our beautiful, not at all, or very old faculty. and she's explaining the rules of the game. Then the students select his gameplay option. First, we will go to the first option. And we begin. We are going to the preparation room. In this room, we have exactly the same document as the student will have on the OSCE day. First, it is a booklet with a short presentation of each station so that the student is not surprised when he opens the door. And the second one is a convocation. In this case, this is station A. This station is at the hospital. It is about periodontology, the new Chicago classification. The student can read the question and see some documents. And then the station is mostly MCQ. There. And it will have new documents to analyze all through the station. It is interesting to add new documents, but the more documents you give, the more time it will take. Here you have a form that you must complete. You can see that there is a timer in the right upper corner of the screen. So I have 3 minutes left, but in the new version, if I'm finished, I can quit the station and move on. Station 2 is trying to mimic a clinical interview, just as in the hospital you can speak with an actor. You have answers and it will change the following dialogues. We also add activities. You will see a photo and also a radiograph and even a baby game just to and when I'm ready, I can quit and go to the next station. I want to show you examples. This is the third gameplay. I will go to the prescription station. Here I have a prescription with errors and I must correct it. The next one is about surgery and the asepsis rules. The same idea, you have to tick on the errors when you break the asepsis rules. In these stations, we had to modify the scoring grid because if a student tick on all the instruments, it will have negative marks, and this never happens in real OSCE. This one is quite funny, and maybe you will think it's very easy, but we were surprised to discover that all the students could not order the radiographs correctly. As usual, there is a blue button to begin again if you're not sure of what you did. A biomaterial station now. You have a protocol with a step-by-step that you just have to follow and click the items. And sometimes when you click on an item, you will have a question appearing. How do you use the primer? I think this one is the last one. It would seem very easy. It is dental anatomy. I like this one because we always use it with different teeth in the fourth year OSCE, and I think it is fair to let the students prepare and give good grades for those who worked. This is the end of the exam. You will see your results. This is also a new modality in the new version. At first, you only add your grades for the station, but now we detailed more with each competency. And this is the end of my film. I will move on. Just to give you the results of our survey. First, to say that we met a large success with OSCE game among the fourth year students, more than with the fifth year students. It is not a surprise because the fourth year students didn't know at all OSCE, whereas the fifth year students already had 1 year experience. You also can see that they use it many times. And this is the satisfaction questionnaire. It was a success to say that all the students felt ready and well informed. But on the other items, there was significant differences between the years. The fourth year students thought that OSCE game was an essential tool, and it helped them train in time management and decrease stress. But these 2 points were quite disappointing for me, and I will explain more later. We also asked the students what media they like most to prepare, and really it was the mock exam that is very, very important. The fifth year student liked OSCE game and the fifth year liked the video. So my first conclusion is that OSCE game met a large success, especially for the fourth year students. And we succeeded in increasing preparedness feeling. But as I told you, I felt disappointed about time management. When I wrote the game, I was very intent on reproducing exactly the time duration of each station and each interstation time. And in the end, the student said, well, it was so long, it took so many time to use OSCE games, that's not possible. And also, it did not help so much students for stress, because you can never have the same feeling when you are relaxed at home behind your screen and when you are at the faculty with teachers looking over your shoulders and with is not the same. And this is the limit of online activity, I think. So we try to take those comments in the new version. And so the student asked for more detailed feedback. So this year we worked with Marion Schlumberger. Hi Marion, I saw that you were with us. Thank you very much. She did a wonderful work. I must say that Marion is an elected student and she went through OSCE and she volunteered to work on the new version of OSCE game. She created 2 new stations. She also had and write a satisfaction questionnaire that is now available online. Together, we add the accelerator button to decrease the length of the game, and we also changed the gameplay and we created a stress mode, a sports mode, where session duration are shorter to give the same feeling as you would have during a real exam. Before finishing, I want to give you some COVID conclusions because OSCE did not take place this year. The good news is that for once we are ready 1 year ahead with the exam for 21. But the bad news is that we could not test the new version of OSCE game. A colleague asked me, do you think that a non like OSCE game could replace the real exam? And my answer is clearly no. First, because when we wrote the stations, we took an old version of the real exam and we had to adapt them to the computer interface a lot. For example, pre-written dialogues cannot replace an actor. Scoring is also less satisfactory. And there is another reason that I didn't speak before. The real exam, and this correlation is very poor. I'm feeling okay with that because OSCE game was meant as a preparation tool, just to familiarize the students with the exam so that they will be able to give their best on the D-Day. It was never meant to train them and to teach them clinical skills. It is not the place, it is not the goal of the serious game. Well, I'm finished. I thank you all for your attention, and I will now switch back to the SIG site so that we can speak and maybe answer your questions.
Professor Claudine, thank you very much. Very, very interesting. Congratulations for all this work and the game and everything connected to the OSCE. Very interesting. And welcome, Marianne. So good that she's here. If she also wants to speak a little bit. And we have here also Professor Vânia Fontanella from the, she's the president of the Brazilian Dental Education Association, which is partner in this SIG and is with us. So I would like to her to say a few words if she wants. Also, we have Professor Maria Celeste Morita, who is the former president of ABENO, and also Rodrigo Guerra, professor from Juiz de Fora University, Suprema, which also has an interesting experience with OSCE. So if after everybody can also, of course, ask questions, but if someone of them would like to say a few words and also greet Professor Claudine, Vânia, Celeste, and Rodrigo.
Boa tarde a todos. Obrigada, Ana. Você me ouve? Thank you very much, Professor Claudine, for your great presentation. It is very interesting to see the application of OSCE game. And I am very interested to talk to you about a possible participation in our next meeting that will be an online meeting in the next November. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Celeste, você está sem áudio? Deixa eu ver.
Oh, maybe I should have written my email address. So is it possible I write it in the discussion so that everybody will have?
Yeah, sure, in the chat, yes, please. I think that, well, everybody, the áudio is, gente, o áudio está liberado para todos, tá? Então, quem quiser ativar o microfone agora para falar e perguntar, I'm just saying that everybody has their audio already functioning. If someone wants to ask any question, you can also make it in the chat if you want. Adela is saying that it's interesting to use this kind of game as a routine to the learning process. Yeah, sure. But one thing that really I would like you to talk a little bit more. I was wondering why does the game was not that effective, if I could understand. I don't know if I understood correctly, but I understood that it's not that effective for preparing to the OSCE. Maybe the game has like closed options, and in the OSCE, when you are training clinical competencies and also the abilities that are of communication, they are so predictable, maybe. So there has to be a space for something that is not exactly close as the game, or I don't know if you could say something more.
This is exactly what you propose. A pre-written dialogue is not as if the student can speak freely. You know, and we all experienced with students saying stupid things that you didn't even imagine, but they also said very interesting things that you did not imagine too. And also online, you cannot have the act performing that you will have in a real OSCE. They cannot manipulate instruments, they cannot administer an anesthesia, so it's very limiting. When the students ask how can we prepare, usually we are answering, just work in your clinic and it will be okay. But of course, they do not feel this reassured.
Yeah, very interesting. We have here Graziella Batista. She thanks you, and she says she teaches in the US and she uses OSCE a lot in her school. I don't know if she wants to talk a little bit about her experience. Also, Adélia is asking, she's from Federal University of Mato Grosso do Sul. I would like to know if we can access the game for free. Yes.
I'm sure it is possible. I cannot answer totally right now because it is freely available on the internal system of the university. But we are asking the presidency if it is possible to invite people. So this is an opportunity we want to work, and of course I will tell of this demand, and I hope it will be possible, but of course it's not a problem. And if you can help and produce new stations, I'm okay with that. I saw Maria Ines asked a wonderful question about the informatic team. Of course, I did not code for all of this, and really I don't know how to do that. The game was developed on software which is called VTS, Virtual Training Studio. It is made to create serious game, and the university bought it 2 years ago, I think. And I worked, and Marion also worked with an educational engineer, and we wrote the stations, and she worked on the software to produce it. Really, it was a great help. But I know colleagues who can use the software alone, but really it's a lot of work. So, thank you to Claire Valencien. She worked with us and she gave us very interesting ideas about the use of stars or ideas for feedbacks. She was really helpful and she's so nice.
Posso
Great.
falar, Ana?
Sim, por favor, claro.
Vou pedir permissão ao grupo para fazer uma pergunta em francês, mas eu vou traduzir primeiro e depois, se ela responder em francês, traduzo o retorno. A minha pergunta é sobre como aceitam os outros professores que não fazem parte do exame da escola, ok? Bonjour, Claudine. Je vais vous parler en français. Bon, je voudrais savoir, d'abord, félicitations pour ta présentation, c'était magnifique, c'était un plaisir. Mais je voudrais savoir comment acceptent les autres profs qui ne sont pas dans l'équipe qui est en train d'appliquer cet examen. Comment ils acceptent ces changements dans la faculté?
Oui, c'est
Vous voulez parler en français et après je fais la traduction en portugais.
super. C'est une très bonne question et au début, ce n'était pas si facile.
Alors, on fait au fur et à mesure, d'accord?
D'accord.
Foi uma boa questão e no começo não foi nada fácil.
Ce qu'il faut savoir, c'est que l'examen oral de fin de 5e année n'était pas l'examen d'un seul enseignant. Donc, c'était un examen qui n'appartenait à personne et qu'on pouvait prendre sans vexer.
Já para dizer que o exame do 5º ano, o exame do último ano, não era um exame de um professor só. Então, a gente poderia fazer um exame coletivo sem que ninguém se sentisse assim, tão prejudicado.
L'autre point, c'est que le groupe Écosse, OSCE, est ouvert. Tout le monde peut venir, mais étonnamment, personne n'a envie de participer à une réunion par mois en plus.
O exame é aberto, né? Outro ponto importante, o exame é aberto, qualquer um pode aderir, pode vir, mas ninguém quer participar de uma reunião a mais por mês, né? Esse é o ponto difícil.
Et enfin, quand on écrit une station, surtout moi je suis seule en prothèse, je vais toujours voir mon collègue le plus compétent pour lui demander de m'aider. C'est pas parce qu'on ne participe pas au groupe OSCE qu'on n'est pas parfois sollicité pour écrire une station.
Eu que faço parte da prótese, quando eu vou formular minhas questões, eu sempre vou procurar os professores mais experientes. Então, não é porque essa pessoa não faz parte do grupo que ela não é consultada e não se sente parte, na verdade.
Et puis, c'est comme tous les changements. Au début, il y a beaucoup d'enseignants qui ont trouvé que ce n'était pas suffisamment bien. Et puis, les années passant, ils s'habituent et ils participent de plus en plus.
E como toda novidade, no começo, os professores, eles acham que não é nada bom ou que não pode ser bom, mas depois, com o passar do tempo, eles vão percebendo e valorizando. Alors, merci beaucoup, Claudine, pour ta réponse. J'ai fait la traduction en portugais. Alors,
C'est formidable. Merci beaucoup.
Oui, c'était un petit moment pour respirer. Alors, enchantée de vous avoir connu, de vous écouter. C'était magnifique. J'espère, como a dit Vânia, estou dizendo que eu estou encantada e que eu espero, como disse a Vânia, la présidente actuelle de la ABNO, notre association d'enseignement brésilien, que vous étiez avec nous. On va faire cette année un meeting par web. D'accord? Après, je répondrai.
Très volontiers, vraiment. Et je suis très heureuse de toutes ces propositions de travailler ensemble. Ce sera vraiment formidable.
Eu estou muito orgulhosa de todas essas propostas de trabalhar juntos. E isso será realmente formidável. OK. Merci.
Excellent. Very good. So good to see you speaking, this beautiful friend, both of you. And you know, Claudine, today Celeste is her birthday, and she's here with us, you know. And congratulations, happy birthday, happy birthday.
Thank you very much, Anna.
Do you want it in French? Joyeux anniversaire.
Merci, Claudine. C'était magnifique aussi. Entendre ça en français, ça me manque beaucoup le français.
She misses talking French, so she could do it today with you. So great. And we have also Professor Maria Inês. She says here in the chat that she's curious if you have a serious game development team in informatics working with you, and if so, how does the interaction with the group happens? Who develops the game?
That's what I said previously. We had at the university ICT, so teaching engineering departments, and we can ask them to help us. They have all the software resources, and before we had one of them who was devoted to odontology, and we keep working with her because she's wonderful.
Great.
But it is quite unique in France to have this access to serious game development. We are very lucky to have this.
Great. Graziella, would you like to say some words about your experience in the US?
Hi, thanks. Obrigada, Ana. Thanks and congratulations on this beautiful work. Thanks, Professor Marco and Andresa, who invited me for this chat today. And thanks, Dr. Wulfman, for this great presentation. As I said, I teach in the US. I teach at ATC University in Missouri. And we do have a lot of experience with OSCE. We have it at different levels for first and second year students here. And our students, they start to see patients in their third year of graduation. So before they move to the clinical setting, they have a huge OSCE experience that we call clinical readiness. So we have different stations, including the standardized patients, and they have to pass this exam in order to be able and to be allowed to attend patients in our clinic. And this year we had to change a little because of all the COVID situation, but luckily we were able to do something. Of course, we could not have the patients with us, but we were able to set some stations, and we had the social distancing, and also they had to wipe everything after touching the instruments, for example, but it was really nice. It was really a good experience, and we also have good feedback from the students. As you said, it's not replacing the written exam. We still need that piece. It's really important, but it's a way for us to see if the students are able to relate the didactic knowledge to the practice. And it's really a very great experience for us. So I'm very happy that I had the chance to see your presentation today. Thanks for that. And thanks, Anna, for giving me the chance to speak.
Thank you. That's so interesting. But I think I will wait a little bit before asking the dean to organize a third OSCE. Or maybe we could move to the third year and keep the fifth year examination with OSCE. But it is so much work. I cannot imagine having it every year. You are very lucky, and thank you for the idea.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yes. This year everything had to be different because of this COVID thing. We are back to school for presential classes since the end of May, but we have like few students in our simulation clinic, and patients, they are starting to come back now. I think 2 weeks ago we started to see patients again, and everything is different and a challenge. But yeah, slowly we are getting back on track.
Yes.
Thank you, Graziella. Professor
you.
Daisy, which is my partner, Daisy, would you like to make your question? Daisy?
Hi, Claudine.
Hi.
I have a question for you. Do you think if you use augmented reality in OSCE, with OSCE? Virtual
Wow.
reality or augmented reality?
This would mean creating stations in augmented reality. Maybe I could ask Claire Valencien, our engineer, if she's okay with that. Yes, that's a great idea. Let's do it. Maybe you can begin and then you will show me. I would love it. But just now, we do not use augmented reality so much. I don't know if it is the same in your different universities. We want to, but yet it's not done.
We have been doing, me and Daisy, we work with OSCE at University of São Paulo with but only in the discipline of pediatric dentistry. We don't have it integrated between. It's a dream that we have, that we could integrate with the other disciplines, but it's not easy to get everybody involved. So maybe sometime. We have been using for almost 10 years since I came back from the Ministry of Health, but adapted, not with everything that, for example, the actors, we don't have the actors, so we have to adapt a little bit. And we have Professor Rodrigo Guerra from the Suprema University. They work there in a very professional way with OSCE. I see that he's only with audio, so I will read his question, but if he wants to speak, it's just to activate your microphone, Rodrigo. He's giving you the congratulations for the presentation, and he would like to know if you use OSCE as a method for progression from one year to the next, or if just as a mean of evaluation of educational process, like formative or summative evaluations.
Yes, this is a summative evaluation, and at first we used it at the end of the studies, so clearly it was evaluation of the whole curriculum. But then we introduced it also at the end of the fourth year, and in this sense we could say that it is a kind of measurement of the progression. We are trying to do both. I know that OSCE are very used in Canada, that it was Canada teachers in medicine who formed us, and clearly it was an evaluation at the end of the courses. And this year should have been an important year in medicine teaching also in France, because for the first time they will all use OSCE on a national scale, and they are very scared about it because they don't know OSCE. So it is interesting to know that dentistry is in advance compared with medicine, and it's very unusual in France.
Rodrigo is saying that when he turns on the microphone, the audio goes down, break down. I don't know, maybe changing the browser. Leandro, could you help us? And I also would like to know if Professor Marco Antonio or Professor Andressa would like to say something, because Marco Antonio made a very interesting presentation about you before we start. And Marco, would you like to say something?
Anna, hello. Can I start?
Hi, Andressa. Thank you. Welcome.
Hi, Claudine. Thank you for your presentation. It is really fantastic to see your work there. Last year, I was with Marco during the ADEE, and we saw Sibyl presenting, and I thought it would be the future for us. And now I think that it's the present. So we need to hurry up to follow this step. And also, I'd like to say that it's quite interesting, this opportunity that you are telling us to future collaborations, because we are just going for publication with some data from Brazil and from Birmingham and France and other countries, questioning about the ICT use during the dental graduation, for dental education. And we saw a lot of similarity between our students and your students. So I think it would be really nice to compare some works and some behaviors between them, using like OSCE or something like that. But after all, I think that it was a really, really good presentation, and I agree with you and Grazi. Grazi, thank you for being here with us today. And I think that these kind of games, the serious games, do not replace the presence of us, but they can improve their students' behavior and the students' auto-confidence. We saw that when we use technology, students have they have increase in their confidence, and also they think it's fun and they play by themselves. So it's good to have this engagement and not just a stress point of view. So thank you for being here with us, and maybe we have good work for the future and for the present as well. Thank you, Claudine.
Thank you for the kind words. Yes, this pandemic made us all think a lot about the use of technology and modifying our educational ways. But in the end, all of us like the lecture and a course and being face-to-face with our students, and it won't change. When you choose to become a teacher, it is to see students.
Well, Marion she says she needs to go, and we are just trying to help her if her microphone, her audio could function, so she could say something. But okay, she said it's not possible. Okay, but thank you very much for being with us, Marion. Okay.
May I say something, Anna?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so Claudine, thank you very much. It was great. Thank you very much for spending some of your holidays summer with us. I know you were resting, but it was really, really good. And maybe we can talk later to discuss some future works. And I know it was good for everyone else, everyone that we talked about saying, oh, okay, we have someone talking about OSCE here. So let me know when and send me the link. So it was always like that. And I know everyone enjoyed. So thank you very much again.
Thank you for inviting me, and it will be a pleasure to see you all again and work with you. And I know that Sibyl will be thrilled to know that we work together. And of course, she's very important for us in our advancing educational tools.
Claudine, thank you very much. We appreciate it so much. Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations for your work. Great. And well, maybe we can get in touch and see if we can work together ahead. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Pessoal, por favor, se puderem não deixar de registrar a presença, seria muito importante, tá bom?